Okay guys, we have a very big problem in FIFA 22 at the moment. Now I know there's obviously a lot of problems when it comes to FIFA 22, but this is just not really talked about for whatever reason. That's the tackling. Now I don't mean the tackling where you get the tackle, goes back to your opponent, make the tackle, goes back to your opponent, 2 tackle, 3 tackle, 17 tackle tacks. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that you could have the worst tackle percentage and still be within close reach of a game. So let's take a look at this game. I won this game 5-3. It's somewhat close, right? Obviously, 2-goal leads the most dangerous, that type of thing. And if it's a 1-goal game, then anything could happen. So I gotta be somewhat vigilant. It's a close game. You look at the stats, you think I would deserve it. More possession, more shots, more passes completed, but there's something that stands out. That's the tackles. My opponent made 53 tackles. Now you might think that because it was a somewhat close game that he probably made like 25, 50, right? At least a 50, 55% tackle percentage, right? Something relatively like that. He was 5 for 53 on tackles. And just to show you guys what type of percentage that is, we have, again, a 9% tackle percentage success rate. Are you kidding me? Again, keep in mind, this was a relatively close game. A 2-goal game is relatively close. Yet for some reason, this guy with a 9% tackle success rate was within reach this entire time. Meanwhile, I had double the amount of tackles won with 3 times less of tackles tempted. I mean, I'm glad that my efforts are being really well paid off. And I know for a fact there's going to be people saying, oh, but you won the game. Why are you complaining? It's all about winning. No, it's not. That's the dumbest goddamn thing I've ever heard in my life. If there's a problem, it needs to be fixed. What if you had like a 5% shooting rate on Call of Duty, yet you were still one of the best players in the game? How would that be allowed? Speaking of being one of the better players, this was in the elite divisions, by the way, so this is an elite player that I'm playing. It's very good. I'm glad I'm playing the best of the best, EA. You might also think this is just a one-off, just a one-game type of thing. No. I've been keeping track the last couple of days, and it's happened multiple times. We had this guy who was 10 for 60 in tackles in 120 minutes and went into extra time, and he attempted 60 tackles. That's 1 in every 2 in-game minutes, which comes out to be 1 every 16 seconds. And that's just if you're all out defending, which means he's probably attempting a tackle 1 every 10, 11 seconds. And let's see what the percentage on 10 for 60 is. That's a 16%. Very good. However, I think this one takes the cake. 3 for 24. That's just not good, right? But it's 24 tackles. That's not a lot until you realize he was 30 minutes into the game. That means he was on course for attempting 72 tackles in a 90-minute game, while also only winning 9 of them, by the way, which comes out to be a 12% tackle success rate. So meanwhile, I won more tackles than him while attempting 5 times less the amount. Again, really glad my efforts are being rewarded here, EA. Thank you. EA is just trying to make this game where everyone can win, everyone can be a pro, everyone can be good at the game, which is the dumbest thing just for a video game, let alone something that's trying to be a goddamn esport. Defensive AI that defends for you and is also just somehow god-awful at the exact same time. Goalkeeper movement, assisted passes, pressing that would make Klopp cry because of how good it was when you're actually only controlling one of those players. And now we have this where you could have a literal 9% tackle success rate and be considered one of the better players in FIFA in the elite divisions. How is this a true video game? Now, I'm not expecting any of this to get traction or just change whatever EA is doing, because clearly they're very happy about the direction the game is going for whatever reason. I'm sure they'll add 70,000 new animations to make the game even more broken. But I wanted you guys to be aware of this. Check the tackles at the end of every single game. See what the tackle percentage is and see how many tackles that you or your opponent makes, because I guarantee you guys are going to be surprised that you see tackle percentages in the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, and then sometimes the 10% or the less than 10%. So if you do say anything that's absurdly bad, make sure that you add EA, at me as well on Twitter, and then see if we can at least try to get some type of traction going on this, because this is, it's mind-boggling. It genuinely is. Funny thing is, I was actually just supposed to make a formation video today, and now we're coming to this. So thanks, EA.